Hi everyone. So I just hit, I don't know, maybe my 80th dialogue with Muji devotees. I pretty much don't engage in dialogue anymore. I've really come to realize that what I'm dealing with, the Muji movement it's just a belief system. It's a belief system that appears to be spiritual, and it's a belief system that appears to be pointed towards the ultimate truth. But really, it's really much more like religion. And the reason I say this is after dialoguing with 80 plus, I've lost count. Um, Most of these people aren't able to engage in any kind of dialogue. It's not really a dialogue. It's generally, someone responding to my video by insulting me. Or I just had a really interesting dialogue, not really. Um, Someone posted, Muji is the greatest master. I'm not interested in how much he has. You seem a little bit you seem a little bit jealous, I think. Oh, and one more thing, dot dot dot. Lose that not so nice ego of yours. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. So, that's not really a dialogue. A dialogue is I present some ideas and then the person responds to the ideas. But that's not what's going on, and that's not what has gone on in most of these dialogues I've had. What goes on is someone affirms the uh, fundamental beliefs of their fundamental beliefs, which again it really boils down to Muji is perfect in some way, shape, or form, and Muji's going to lead us all to enlightenment. Those are the fundamental delusions and illusions of the Muji movement. And so here, once again, the person says, I mean, this is classic. Muji is the greatest master. Can you believe that? Muji is the greatest master. Not just a great master, the greatest master. So this just shows us what we're dealing with. We're dealing with um, uh, just uh, just this image comes of like a rock solid like bars of a belief system that people are trapped in. That's just the long and short of it. Our people are trapped in a belief system and they can't think outside of it. And anything that challenges that belief system um, is that's perceived as an attack. And there's only one thing to do, and that's counterattack. Because the Muji movement and what Muji teaches, it has no substance to it. Some of these people have been following Muji for 5, 10, 15 years, and they don't know anything about Advaita Vedanta. They can sort of parrot like, oh, our true nature is consciousness. Like they can parrot the teachings, but they don't actually really know anything about it. And so what they're left with is, when I say, hey, Muji's not teaching Advaita correctly, and I give specific examples from Advaita masters, all these people can do is say, Muji is an enlightened master, or in this case, Muji is the greatest master, and then attack me. And so, of course, the irony of it is this person is, oh, and one more thing, lose that not so nice ego of yours. Um, which of course implies that this person doesn't have a not so nice ego. And yet, look how they're treating me. They can't even engage in a conversation about ideas. They have to turn it into an attack. So, this dialogue with this person just got more and more interesting. Just stop ranting. It's not a cult or religion, and not for you, you sad man. Oh, let me read the whole comment because this one was erased, which happens. Um, People will sometimes I'll engage in a long dialogue with people, and then if they were the first person to post it, then all they have to do is erase it, and the whole dialogue goes away. So this person wrote, "Just believe in anything you want. Just stop ranting. It's not a cult or a religion, and not for you, you sad man." So that was in response to a video in which I put forth the idea that really what we're dealing with here is the Muji movement is more of a religion than it is actually a spiritual path or a spiritual movement. And I gave some very specific reasons. And instead of um, disputing or challenging any of those reasons. All this person was able to do is say, just believe anything you want. Just stop your ranting. So that's really subtle right there. Just stop your ranting. So instead of engaging with the ideas of what I'm saying, they're labeling my ideas as evil, bad, and wrong without giving any proof for that. And not for you, you sad man. Of course, that's meant as an insult, and the truth is, I am very sad. I'm heartbroken to have discovered all these things about Muji. I'm heartbroken that one of, if not the most popular spiritual teacher, really is really not awake and really misleading a lot of people. Um, so after writing that message and then deleting it, this person wrote, "You need to let it go. You becoming obsessed." Oh, you're becoming obsessed. Peace to you. She's so spiritual. She gives me a diagnosis. She gives me instructions. You need to let it go. You're becoming obsessed. She gives me a diagnosis, a kind of an insult, and then she offers a namaste. So, um, with each of these dialogues, it just becomes more and more clear to me that what we're dealing with is a really sick culture. And I don't mean culture like the world. I mean this culture that Muji has created and has been created around him. And I mean, this has got to be, one of the worst. I'd say the worst, besides not just insults to me, but one person, when I was talking about, like these accusations of like really the accusations that Muji has done some really horrendous things. And I think the most disturbing response in all these dialogues is where someone said, "Who are you to judge an enlightened master?" They didn't challenge what I was saying. They didn't even express any horror. They didn't say, "Oh, Muji didn't do those things." What they said is, "You don't have the right to judge." Oh, this one's pretty good too, that Muji is the greatest master. Um, I'm learning a lot, and I started off these videos because I see Muji, what he's doing is dangerous, and so I started off these videos with with a sense of wanting to warn people, and what this has evolved into um, is really standing in the face of insanity. Because the way these people are relating to me and the things they're saying to me, it's just pure insanity. And what this has really become is just standing in the face of insanity and not being willing to buy in. This person right here, again, has tried to hook me into their belief system. He's a perfect master. What I'm doing is ranting. I'm a sad man. All these um, little hooks to try and lose that not nice ego. That what I'm doing is coming from a place of ego. And so what this has become is just really facing insanity and staying in my clarity. Which is really what, interestingly enough, is really what the path is all about. And if Muji was properly teaching his devotees how to do that, we wouldn't be getting messages like this. But apparently he's not. So thanks so much for joining in. And the last thing I'll say is, making these videos has really, really woken me up um, in many ways to, um, what do I want to say? All around us every day we're inundated with people trying to get us to believe things that aren't true. And that may sound a little conspiratorial, and um, people all day long, people are trying to hook us into their belief system and their story. I'm not even saying it's always conscious. I don't think this person was consciously trying to do so. But so to stand in our sanity and in our guts and in our hearts and in our soul in the face of insanity, in the face of someone trying to do that and not giving into it, it's been very empowering for me. And yeah, thanks so much for dropping by.